You are listening to TechCom, a podcast series by NTT Data dedicated to the telecommunications industry. In our 6th episode of the NTT Data podcast series called TechCom, we will discuss together with our guests the challenges the telco industry is facing due to the implementation of new technologies such as open architectures, virtualization, or cloud and edge computing, how operators like Telefónica are moving towards a customer-centric network, and how they could leverage from the deployment of zero-touch customer-centric 5G networks to achieve it. Here to discuss these complex topics are Julia Martinez Arenas, Customer Experience Manager at Telefónica, one of the largest telecommunications service providers in the world with more than 384 million customers, and Fernando Rex, Partner and Head of Network Business at NTT Data Europe and Latam.
Well, Julia, thank you for coming today. Today, I would like to talk with you about the work we have done together in the project, in the Catalyst project for the TM Forum. I think we have done a good job, and well, I would like to discuss about this, some specific topics that I think are quite relevant for the audience.
Thank you, Fernando. It's really nice being here and discussing about all these things with you. Thank you for inviting me.
Julia, the telco industry is currently facing several challenges due to the implementation of new technologies. I mean, open architectures, virtualization, cloud, edge, computing, and 5G networks, among others. How is Telefónica handling the operation of this new complexity that requires
Well, for this reason, Telefónica has been establishing the Autonomous Network Journey program to accelerate this journey towards the autonomous network. This program has as main objectives, for example, the full automation of the whole network and IT life cycle, having the artificial intelligence culture and capabilities in all areas, the full the evolution of the network and IT technology towards the seamless operations, all having data available in every decision making. Customer experience is also key in this autonomous network journey program. We want, with customer experience, to continually improve in a proactive way to evolve to a zero-touch customer-centric network.
Okay, it's quite clear. But taking into account this context, which are the main characteristics and benefits that you see on a zero-touch customer-centric networks? I mean not only for benefits for the telco operators, but also for its customers.
Okay, I see. In a zero-touch customer-centric network, by means of automation and artificial intelligence techniques, we try to anticipate to customer pain points and proactively act in a seamless way before any degradation occurs. So in order to do that, in Telefónica, we are working in 3 main areas, I will say. No? The first thing that we need to do for having this customer centricity is to measure the customer experience. And for this, in Telefónica, we have been working for a long time into customer experience index analytics models. With these analytics models, basically what we are doing is that we are correlating network KPIs with customer satisfaction. And we are able to identify what are the network KPIs where we need to focus. And as well, we know the thresholds of customer experience index below the ones the customers are not satisfied. The other area, or ones that we have been measuring, what we need to do is to include this customer experience index into our processes, to transform these processes, the network and operation processes, like, for example, the planning, the customer service, optimization of operation. And another area that is very important as well for customer centricity in the network is the customer experience maturity model that we are working as well in Telefónica, where based on some dimensions that we think that they are important in customer experience, like there could be data, technology, or culture, or strategy, we are basically doing an assessment and knowing where we are, and trying to define a roadmap to see where are the key project or the key areas where we need to focus in order to improve. So in order to have these characteristics of this network, this customer centricity, we need to measure the customer experience index, we need to transform our processes, and as well we need to evolve in customer experience maturity. And regarding benefits, there will be more the characteristics. Regarding benefits, what we are seeing is that basically the measuring the customer experience index and the machine learning, they help us to improve customer experience continuously. And in this way, we reduce churn. And zero-touch techniques and autonomous mechanisms, what they are helping us is to improve customer experience in a seamless way for the customers. So we improve as well customer experience, we improve satisfaction, but there are as well more cost efficient for the operator.
Okay, this concept of CEI, Customer Experience Index, sounds really interesting. My understanding is that probably the definition and calculation of this a good Customer Experience Index is the key. No? I know that the definition of this index comes from a previous phase that was developed in another catalyst in 2021. How has this concept evolved from this last year?
In Telefónica, as I was saying previously, we have been working in customer experience index models for a long time, no? And basically, we developed some guidelines. We developed a concept of customer experience index based on 3 components. The first one is the availability. If the service is available or not, we can access the service. The second one is the reliability. I mean, if we can keep the service or have interruptions. And the third one is the quality. How is the service? And depending on the service, we can consider the throughput, the packet loss, the latency, these kind of KPIs. So based on this concept, in the previous phase of the catalyst, we use a customer experience index based on crowdsourcing from Tutela. But we realized in the first phase that this customer experience index from crowdsourcing, that was not enough. That we need to have both views, the customer experience index from the crowdsourcing point of view, and as well the customer experience index from the network point of view. And take decisions based on both components. So this year, in the Catalyst this year, we have been developing this new concept of customer experience index from the network point of view. When we are taking information from pros, DPIs, or performance data between others, and this concept had been made taking into account data from Telefónica Spain, and has been developed by Nokia mainly within the project.
You are listening to TechCom, a podcast series by NTT Data dedicated to the telecommunications industry.
Okay, in terms of this evolution, what are the use cases that were developed in the previous phase, which were addressed this year?
Okay, so last year we were implementing a use case, a dynamic load balancing use case, where we were taking the customer experience index from crowdsourcing as an input parameter, and if the customer experience index was below certain thresholds, there was not enough, they were taking some actions in an automatic way, changing closing the loop, basically, changing the radio access configuration. This was made via Camunda. This year, we have been focusing in taking into account this new customer experience index from crowdsourcing. We have been focusing on 2 new use cases. The first one is an operation use case where we are implementing anomaly detection based on customer experience index, and with the anomalies we are doing later a root cause analysis, trying to identify what are the main problems that they could be what they are causing these problems, and we change as well automatically the configuration of the network via Camunda. This is the first first use case that we have been implementing this year. And the other one is a dynamic planning use case where we are taking as well as input parameter the new customer experience index from the network point of view. This dynamic planning is for 5G network, taking into account network slicing, and they have been implemented an admission control mechanism that is taking into account customer experience index requirements, so that only is admitting new customers if the customer experience index is guaranteed.
We know that during the last years, all the operators have tried to move from a reactive operations to a predictive ones. No, and in this case, we understand that CSPs needs to predict the network performance and the potential impacts on its customers, on the customer experience of the clients, no, while implementing the zero-touch operation. In terms of tools, which network analytics tools, real-time service assurance, big data processing are being implemented as part of this catalyst?
Okay, the implementation of this catalyst follow the strategy of Telefónica with service operation centers, with SOCs, service operation centers. In this case, has been implemented with Telefónica Spain tools. So basically, we are taking information from the DPI, from profs, from performance data, between others. All this information is incorporated in a data lake. In this case, like had been Telefónica Spain, we had been using the DevOps platform, and all these, once that we are having the information in the data lake, we are building use cases on top of that. In these cases, or some of the dashboards that they have been implemented, we have been using Power BI. And later, for all the automation, basically, and the closing the loop, we have been using in this catalyst, we have been using Camunda. But as I say, this is following the strategy of Telefónica with the service operation centers.
And after this work that we have been doing this year, how this collaboration with TM Forum do you see has been key for the driving innovation in Telefónica?
Well, I think that has been very, very useful, this collaboration. I mean, Telefónica is collaborating with TM Forum in many areas. No, one of them is, for example, with new proposals for autonomous network, or participating as well in several catalysts. So this, as I say, the catalyst, for example, is very, very useful for Telefónica, because I mean they allow us to test new concepts, innovations with proof of concepts, and with the key partners in the area. So as I say, it's very, very useful for Telefónica.
The telecom industry is going through a major transformation, with new technologies forcing operators to accelerate their journey towards a digital transformation that puts the customer at the center of the operation. Today we were joined by Julia Martinez Arenas, Customer Experience Manager at Telefónica, and Fernando Rex, Partner and Head of Network Business at NTT Data Europe and Latam, for an in-depth conversation about how open architectures, virtualization, 5G networks, and other technological developments are challenging telecom operators, how Telefónica manages these complex automated networks, what is a customer experience index, and is it important, or which are the benefits and characteristics of a zero-touch customer-centric network. Join us for our next episode of the NTT Data TechCom podcast series, where we will dive into how network cognitive automation can enable and accelerate CSP's digital transformation journey.